Listen carefully. Good, it's working. Listen, in this video, we are all sharing our opinion. No one is attacked. It's a reaction video, it's an educational video. I'm going to share my screen and to educate people to like, as you're watching this video, as like you're watching this video, no one is attacked, right? Crime affect everyone in South Africa. Crime affect everyone in South Africa. No one is special. No one is better, right? Like I said, no one is attacked. The open discussion, the debate, where you can share your opinion by commenting, right? Because we live in this country where like people, their forefathers, they came in during apartheid. When they came in during apartheid, they stole our land by beating our people. They stole our land, your land as a black child during apartheid. Then like now, since South Africa there's high unemployment rate, which is where this high unemployment rate is a crime. There's a trauma that black people are coming from during apartheid. Others, they think they're special to others in this country. You know, for the first time. If it was them, they're going to run away. Um, if it was them, like based on what you saw, they're going to say Trump, they kill our daughter, they kill black people. But like in today's videos, we're going to talk about crime affects everyone in this country. Like I said, it's open discussion. No one is attacked. So let's go. I don't want this thing of like others think they are special than others because of crime affect. Well, to you, Mama.
khona izinto ezabantu thina sazi kahle ngicela usondele sizwa nithi lesi into kanje ayiqala ukwenzeka ngathi futhi usolakala ukuthi ngonyaka odlule khona enye ingozi aye kuyo ngicela usichazela ngalokho ukuthi enkantolo kuvelani
Esikuthola ukuvela enkantolo ukuthi yebo akaqali yena ukwenza isigameko esifana nalesi futhi zonke igameko ukutholakala ukuthi usuke edakiwe. Okusimangazayo ukuthi kuleli lokuqala-ke kwakhona wayephunyuke kanjani aze azokwenza isigameko esifana nalesi, ngoba uma sibuka lesigameko esenzeka okokugcina kulezi ngane zakithi kubuka njenge-attack, akubukeki njengento kwaba iphupho.
The thing of like, because of like us black people, we have nowhere to go, right? Because to them, they will call Trump, say, hey, Trump, South Africa, there's genocide. Trump will be like, okay, I'm going to offer you refugee status so they can come home. Us, where you home? Home is here, right? Us, home is here. Because for them, they've done messed up like in South Africa, based on what their forefathers have done to our forefathers, based on how black people lost their everything. When they experience crime, they feel something like a guilt. Say like these people want the land like this because I have a lot of stories. So like they believe like that. Dog, I was in the house where like I was robbed with the guns, especially I was student at time. Students were robbed. They robbed their thing, laptop, phone, because of we live in a country where like there's no government, right? this and this.
Hey guys.
Let me ask this one. There is a genocide taking place against white from West Africa. I'm a South African now. I went to farm country to investigate. This is what I found. Okay, what do you found?
I know usually my content is very upbeat and loud and humorous at times. I want to talk about something serious for a moment. And if you have a couple minutes of your day, I ask you to please watch this video because when I travel to different countries around the world, I like to learn and I like to experience what's happening in that country, the good, the bad.
Yeah, even like mention white farmers who kill people who done nothing to them. You know, like people like this, they'll come and say, like, they show us graveyards. They know the graveyards of our ancestors during apartheid. How many the soul they took. Hmm? Hmm? We're not comparing. We are not comparing. We are just talking, conversation, debate. Like I said, no one is attacked. We're just having a conversation. You're like, yeah, you came here, you show us graveyard. And we were like people that tried to explain the situation of South Africa. They said like, my video is louder, is viral today. This is what I found. What do you find out?
And sometimes I discover things when I'm in these countries that is the opposite of what we're being told on the news back home. Okay, and now every cross on these hillsides stretching many, many acres represents the murder of a white South African farmer.
Killed by who? There's a question. Killed by who? So they have to come like that. Who killed them? Yeah. Now, because who come on? Who come on?
We've heard on the news in the US, okay? Have you heard about the genocide against the white South African farmers? We've heard this. The news comes out, they say, that's not real. That's fake news. It's not happening. You guys, I'm here right now. I'm here with people that have personal.
So who killed them? Who killed them? Hmm? The thing of like black people, we need to stand up for ourselves now. So this guy is trying to say there's genocide. Who? You won't be here if there's genocide news. You won't be shooting that video if there was a genocide. If there was a genocide, we won't be here in South Africa. If there was a genocide, we won't be shooting this video. Everyone experienced crime. Everyone experienced crime. These things we think about others are special. There's no speciality. Speciality ended during apartheid. That's where speciality ended. Now we are all equal. Now we are all equal. We all experience crime. We all experience those sad things that happen in our country because of the government we are having. They're not going to come here. People say it's a fake news, is what. Why don't take them and go back where you come from? Home. So we have a lot of things to deal with as South Africans. We have a lot of things to deal with. If like you feel like you're not happy here, because this is Africa for Africans, you can go to Europe, to Europeans. You can go back to China, to Chinese. You can go back to India, to Indians. and stop giving us stress. We have a lot of problems to deal with. This is what it's trying to say because of maybe white privilege, white supremacy, whatever. So like people say, there's no genocide. So you must say there's genocide because you see a graveyard. But can you show our graveyards of our forefathers who forcefully removed from their own land by guns? This is what we want to see. I'm not comparing, but like this it pays me up, man, to see people act like they're what's special? We don't experience crime, dog. I experience every day. Everyone living in South Africa experience crime.
Counts that know many of these people here behind me, and there is a white genocide happening here in South Africa.
You see, like these people are the one that problems. These are problems. These are problems that they experience in South Africa. You can find there's genocide. Trump offer based on their misinformation, based on their whatever they're saying. Trump said like, come back home, leave Africa. Home is waiting for you. They decided to go back home. Where they decide to stay to the country where like there's genocide. Trump said like my people, my Christianities, my Europeans, come back home. Eh, only few went to Europe. This guy see graveyards.
Against these farmers, and it's not fast and it's not being filmed and put on the internet like what's happening in Sudan and Africa. These farmers are being murdered because of the color of their skin.
Guilty. When I was hijacked by a car, when they came to a room with guns, laptops have been stolen with guns. Lots of students, black people have been killed by criminals, black to black. There are whites who are killing black people, right? We never say like we never took it the way they take it. I don't know, maybe it's only them who deserve to not deserve, it's only them who are allowed to take our lives, like during apartheid where they kill our forefathers and take their land. So according to him, it's only them who are allowed to do those mistakes. Black people are doing crime, black people are doing crime. You say like, oh, they rob him because of his white. Oh, they robbed him because of this. But when a white person rob a black person, it's a normal thing. You say like it's a crime. You say like that. It's like it's a crime that need to be reported because it's a crime. But to them, how can you rob? How can you? So how can you rob? So like this guy said like no, this thing is a silent genocide. It just started. They move it slowly. I as dog we don't know. When are you are the one telling us as South Africans, we know nothing what you're talking about. Kids, man. Why people don't take responsibility and accountability? Why people don't weigh? People they behave like kids. Like if like me,
And they're being murdered for who they are. It is a hate crime. And right now there's an average about one attack every single week. Right now, they've already had over 45 murders for the year. And here there's over 3,800 crosses behind me, each one representing a farmer here in South Africa. And I don't know if you've seen this on the news. I was watching it on the news. We had some politicians in the U.S. come out and talk about this, and then the news came out and said it's not happening. I didn't know what to think. I've got friends in South Africa. I've got white friends. I've got black friends.
You're just playing. I'm so sorry to see this. I'm very sad. That's lots of deaths. Things terrible happening. We are not better than our oppressors. You know, like when you feel like you want to see genocide of apartheid, crime against humanity. People were beaten from their own skin. People were killed from their own skin. People were removed from their own land, from their own skin. Today, your friends were talking about. Today, those who have friends, that have a white friends, stuff free. They benefited from their forefathers. By who? You don't have to speak about our culture. You don't have to speak about our forefathers. You don't have to speak about how they stole the land. Hmm? You don't have to. This is not apartheid. Where, where people have no rights to speak for themselves. White farmers are being tortured and stuff. By what? Wait, Muslims say is this not happening? And the Dutch parliament is usually doing anything. So like these people, they disrespect South Africa government. If you're going to type something like this, and the Dutch parliament is usually doing nothing, you're going to do what in South Africa? You're going to do nothing. The president told you there's no genocide. People think there's no genocide. White others they came and said there's no genocide. Only small numbers carry there's genocide. Everyone experienced crime in this country. Just listen to this guy.
Germany in 1933. We have the dangerous populace, not in brown shirts, in red berets, jumping up and...
So you compare us with Dutch people who came here and kill our people. You compare black people who welcome your forefathers here in South Africa. After that, they beat them. You know, like during apartheid, if you don't know the history, during apartheid, Khoisan, they call them Khoisan. There's nothing called Khoisan. There's no anything called Khoisan. So during apartheid, Dutch people, like what you say in Germany, we have people who are this is not Germany, and we are not Dutch people. We are Africans. We welcome you even today. After your forefathers have done to our forefathers, we still welcome you in our own country, in our own continent. The first thing you compare us, that's the mistake you have done. Number two is like we forget your forefathers. Today, black people are struggling because of your forefathers do wrong things to our forefathers so that you guys can enjoy today. That's what we are seeing. And stop disrespecting our government. About AfriForum, disrespecting South Africa government. When no with the Bua chant the song, the Bua song during apartheid, where black people have been killed for 84 years. It's 82, 82 between 82, 80, between 82, 84 years. Black people were killed during that time. For years, black people have been killed for being black. Black people have no rights. Been killed for 82 years. That's where our forefathers, as a tribe people, in South Africa, we are tribe. We have Botswana, Basotho, Xhosa, Zulu, Pedi. They came together. They formed ANC to fight Dutch people the way you talk about in Dutch way. This is not Dutch, this is not Europe. In Dutch people we had a thing like this. Why you compare Dutch with us? Number one, they form to say like we are going to defeat apartheid for our kids. So it pays me off when he come here. And so like in Germany, a group of it's like group like Julius Malema, people who fight for black people. I don't know that side they what they were fighting for what. I don't care about their history. It will never bring change to my life. I don't care about it. So you come in this is not the Germany. Number one, you must put in your mind.
Down and openly and publicly threatening to kill minorities, especially white people. We have that already. We have a Soviet playbook being pulled out, which is economic genocide.
Dog, you too, your forefathers took our land. We have nothing. I mean, a shake like now. We're living in dangerous townships. We have nothing because of your forefathers. You come here, yeah. I guess,
Aside, which is already in place, taking as much as you can away from minorities to chase them away or take away what they have, and then signed into law in December, expropriation without compensation.
yes. When they take our land, who fought for us? Who fought? There was no Germany. There was no Trump. There was no USA. Our African brothers, they were there fighting with us. We want our land without paying cent. Kaya ko, Val. He so like you guys want to coming from Europe. You come from Europe. You are busy enjoying our land. Our people are suffering because of our forefathers. I don't know what is the agreement after apartheid for 82 years because of ANC. I measure by ANC. ANC existed for 114, right? 82 years, black people in apartheid, treated like they are not human. Our forefathers becoming slavery, selling them. When we take what belongs to us, rightful, not what your forefathers have done to us. And even in parliament, they said it to say like we don't want to take the way how your forefathers take it from us. And they said, don't want to do that because we are not like you, we are not like that. They said like we don't want to take the land the way your forefathers took from us, the painful they have done, the pain they've done for a black child. So when you want our land, you are crying. You should pay with what? When your forefathers they came here and they put black people into a squad camp, they call it a squad camp.
In law by Cyril Ramaphosa. Cyril Ramaphosa denies that farm attacks are anything different. He says South Africa is a violent society. There are farm attacks. Everybody's under threat.
Yes, he's telling the truth. He's telling the truth. You want him to lie? To say like, yeah, this, you are crying, you are playing, what's happening?
If you live in the townships as a poor person, you're just as likely to be killed. Not true. There are 30,000 commercial farmers in South Africa. There are 3 million commercial farmers in America. If you take 2000 to 2020, the number of South African farmers murdered, not attacks, murders, and there are about 45% of the attacks are murders. Torture and rape are 20% of them. Torture and rape. And it's not just white farmers, but it's mostly white farmers.
Mm-hmm.
Hi. This is what we experience in Africa. This is what we are dealing with in South Africa. Who's that like by you? Hmm? God. Who's the funny get at this thing? Who's the funny? Let me listen to this one.
Of white black supremacist South Africans in this very country we call a rainbow nation. And I mean that literally. The behavior is so contradictory, it's so toxic, it's so fundamentally irrational that it would be comedic if it wasn't ruining people's lives. I need to paint you a picture of what's happening here because you think I'm the crazy one. And also because
What is happening here?
it's absolutely staggering. Subscribe if you haven't yet. For years,
Tell us what is happening here because I can see like you're a spoiled boy. You know nothing about struggle. So I'm going to meet the boy from Gas. I can see you're a spoiled boy.
decades even, black supremacists in South Africa have done everything in their power to make white South Africans feel unwelcome in their own country.
By doing what? By fixing what happened to black people during apartheid? You see, like we have boys like this. Boys who stay in suburbs. Who know nothing about the struggle. Who come here and make themselves Jesus.
Every single day, it's the same single narrative. You don't belong here. You're colonizers. You're
They are lying. They are lying. I want to talk to someone who feels the fair. I don't want to talk to someone who just want to debate for views. Let's come back. So, like, if I can come and talk the truth, they are lying. Because we all know they came here, their forefathers they came here and they beat and they killed and they stole the land. They're not lying.
settlers. You benefited from apartheid.
Facts. Facts.
You racists. You owe us. You're not really South African. This
This is not South African, it's Tanzania. You see, I teach this boy this is Tanzania. South African is their name came with them when they were beating our forefathers. Just imagine me educating small boy. Yes, you can say that. As much South African, though, as we don't care, but the land must be returned. We don't need men like this. They know nothing about the struggle. We don't want the soft boys. Soft boys, see. When if like this boy was behaving like this during apartheid, then what happened there because of we're talking about stories of farmers. Now I see things that doesn't make sense. Stories. You see this one?
Been quite an operation to get all the stuff from the farm.
It was, I had a friend who was murdered not long after, and he was killed on the farm. But he gave us his big 30-ton truck, and his truck moved everything for us from the farm to here. And I say, not long after that, he actually got killed on the farm. They came in, him and his wife were sleeping, and
Who killed him? That person who killed him must be arrested. That person who killed him he must be arrested.
Yeah, they beat him to death.
What
She
war
got
veteran?
beaten badly. It was his name was Colin Zitzman, and that was terrible. It really was. But it was his truck that managed to move everything off for me. He helped me, and when he was in trouble, there was nothing we could do. Christina,
Look at our mothers. Book Christine, no Harriet. Our mothers during apartheid in South Africa, they removed them from their own land, where they were living the best life, beating them, killing them, move them to township, and make them their domestic workers. Waitress, Christina, Christina. This thing must end.
where Bambaro Caleb? Thank you.
Our mothers are the ones who grow, who take care of their kids, and they see our mothers, they don't pay them enough. That's where EFF was started to see like now we need to take our black people serious.
Goodbye. Bye. Bye, Caleb. Bye.
They also
He's not so sure.
came from the farm.
Our mothers, they leave their child, they leave their kids in their home to take care of their kids. So this is what we are seeing. But we don't have to talk about them. We don't have to talk about them. In township, a lot of our mothers they were domestic workers.
Yes, yeah. They came with me from the farm. Her husband is my foreman. He was a foreman on the farm, and he moved, and he's still with me as well. I've had some staff that workers that work for me, very, very loyal. I looked after them. You know, when they've been through tough times, I was there for them. I helped them. At the same time, they've helped me a lot. Living on a farm, it's also their home. It's not just a place where they work; it's a place where they live. So they also literally lost their livelihoods.
The only thing I will tell the viewers who are watching this video is like this crime affects everyone. Actually, I don't know what's happening with this thing, man. I don't know what's happening with this thing. I don't understand. The only thing I will say like is the only thing I will say is like man. The only thing I will tell you is crime in South Africa affect everyone. You know, that's the only thing I will tell you. Crime in South Africa affect everyone. There's no others who are special. Everyone get affected by crime. Like there's a videos where they talk about white farmers kill black people, thinking he, they are dogs. Just imagine. Because of us, we don't have Europe or we don't have America who is going to stand for what they are doing to us. We only have us and EFF and ANC because and MK because that's what they are fighting for black people. That's the only thing that we are having. That's the only thing that we are having. We don't have that power because we don't have land. We don't own nothing. We are just people and people who must accept that the land was stolen during apartheid. And we must move on. It's like it was never stolen. We must move on like apartheid never existed. These are things that we're experiencing. So moving like things never happened. Why is like that? When people try to fend for us, they try to bring them down. We are not supposed to have a voice. Hmm? 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 This how life it is in South Africa. So as we deserve to serve. But let's watch other stories, man. Stories that we can learn from it and educate us to say like suffering. Let's watch this.
Hello again to South Africa now, where a farmer and two of his employees are in court today accused of shooting dead two black women and feeding their bodies to pigs. The killings took place.
White farmers kill two African women and feed them to a pigs. We never saw us because we understand he done a crime as individual. He committed a crime as alone. But them, because of I don't know, they have problem with black people. We're like, yeah, white fly. So like as soon as
Here's what people are not understanding about the farmers in South Africa. White farmers are not being singled out. These attacks on farmers are attacking black and white farmers proportionally. But here's what people in the US might not understand. South African farmland is a big area that's equal to the size of Texas and Oklahoma put together. When you're a farmer and you live and work on a farm, you might be 30 to 60 minutes away from the nearest road. So you are by nature vulnerable to criminals because you're secluded and there's no one around to help. Farmers are easy targets because there's no police station nearby, no one to hear a commotion.
he explained very well. I love how he explained it. He explained to show understanding, to show that's what our president been saying, what our people have been saying, to say like everyone in South Africa experience crime. Um, um, so the thing like this, like man, people here, it's all about making sure like so like I'm making sure like so like to make sure like that no one is attacked. It's just that crime, crime that is the biggest thing.
They're out in the country in a rural area, and thieves go there to steal food, to steal vehicles, to steal tools, to steal fuel. And sometimes these thefts result in violence and end in death. Now, you should
Less 1%, less 1%. There's GBV, there's cameras happening in the townships that their forefathers brought that make us to stay there. That those things. Right? But it's a thing of like it's a thing of like man, I don't know man. The thing of like I don't know how to tell people. But we are tired man. Our government is tried we tried him as a country to say there's no genocide in South Africa. We tried with all we have. We tried with all strategies. Did I change the screen? Let me change the screen so we can see top other stories we can learn from. And to learn to like not people attacked there. One.
We cannot be told that their farmers themselves are actually killing the farm workers. It was the white farmers who killed two women in Polokwane and fed them to the pigs. It's a complete lie that white people are being.
They killed women, South African women, and fed them to pigs. And Trump is over here talking about South African farmers are getting killed, bruh. Well, we're not talking about who the South African farmers are killing too, though. Like,
killed in South Africa. If anything, white people live in privilege, and that's what Donald Trump knows.
they do, isn't it? What's that town, Orana? I think so, something like that. The town where you cannot go. That's privilege, bro. On black land at that.
No. Stories of white farmers